What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of House Flipper. As always, if you guys are enjoying this series, make sure you leave a like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, we actually took a little break from working on the historic house, and instead, we tackled the latest job from the new update, the Christmas update for House Flipper. And honestly, I had a lot of fun with that property, and I'm really excited, as I mentioned, to purchase that and flip it later on. But for today, we of course have to continue with the historic house. So what I've sort of started to do here already off camera is just go through the property once again and just kind of familiarize myself with our original ideas. Now, having said that, one of our original ideas on the exterior of the property was sort of adding in a little bit of brick here and there. And I feel like I just have to make an executive decision and say, you know what, we're gonna sort of separate the building from top floor to bottom floor, and we're just gonna encase the whole bottom floor in brick. I think that's the only way we're really gonna get the historic look that we're going for, hence the name of the property, of course. So before we do anything else, I gotta finish the brick here. I'll see you guys in a sec. Oh yeah, dude. I love this already. That looks so much nicer. It just makes the house look so much more complete. Originally, what we were trying to do is almost pretend that these little outcrop areas were like extensions of the original house, you know, additions that maybe the previous owner might have done, but it just didn't really work because nobody does that with brick. If you're going to make an addition, it's probably going to be siding and your original building foundation would be brick. So just because of that, I feel like it looks a lot better. But of course, as is per usual with us, I went a little bit overboard when purchasing all the paneling. So we have to go through real quick. Just get rid of these. Got to be kind of careful on the patio. I don't want to delete any of these just yet because honestly, I haven't found something that I like to replace this with. So we're just going to be leaving that for now. But I have seen a handful of people sort of suggesting that we maybe ditch this patterned driveway and just replace it with a more normal looking thing like concrete or something. But now that we have all the paneling done for the exterior of the property, we can make our way back inside. And now I actually have a little update for you guys on the deck or the patio just on the back side here. This is now a usable space. Kind of. We still can't actually change the floor covering, which I would love to do, honestly. But what we can do now is at least, you know, place furniture and other things out here. So the devs have thankfully graced us with that addition. And honestly, I feel like that's just going to make this house a little bit more special, you know, because before it was pretty much an unusable space. Sure, it looked good, but you couldn't put anything out there. So, you know, what's the point? And I have no idea why I walked back outside because I think we're finally ready to start decorating the interior. So all we need to do is pretty much just pick a room and go for it. So let's actually start in the bathroom. I feel like we don't usually start in the bathroom. Usually it's like the living room or the kitchen or something. So let's see what we can do in here. We're gonna start by fitting the bathroom installations in here. Now, obviously, looking at this now, the bathroom's a bit too big, right? This is just gonna be a half bath, so that means we're gonna have a toilet, we're gonna have a sink. That's it. We have no space for a shower, or I guess we have no use for a shower down here. We also have no use for a bathtub. So what we're gonna do is put a toilet down over here. Then we're also going to do a sink installation here, and we're basically going to be sort of recreating the rooms that used to be here. So we're going to get our cell tool out. We're going to get rid of some trim. I know, kind of a bummer, but we can replace it, you know, not a huge deal there. And we're essentially going to be splitting this room down the middle. Just like that. Now we have a much smaller, much more normal sized half bath. And then you're probably wondering what we're possibly going to be doing in here. First, we have to sell a few more pieces of trim, but now we're going to take out our handy dandy sledgehammer. We're going to knock out just 4 walls here. We don't need any more than that. And instead of actually having a proper door here, what I want to do instead is actually just a door frame. Replace the trim that we deleted, add some lintels at the top, and boom, we have a walk-in pantry again, which is pretty much what it was before. Although, I kind of remember this being a bedroom Almost. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a bedroom the whole time. But with the pantry now complete, we can continue on in the bathroom. So next, we got to get ourselves a sink installation. And now all we have to do is finish off the trim again in this room, and we can start sort of fitting all the furnishings in this space. The first piece of furniture for the bathroom is, of course, the toilet. Now, unfortunately, I didn't fit a urinal installation in here, so we are just going to go with a standard toilet. I don't want anything too fancy. I'm actually not going to go with the flatty, otherwise known as the fatty, because people hate when I call it a fatty. So instead, we're just gonna go with the classic mountable toilet standard. And hold the phone. What is this? Have I actually just never used this toilet? Hang on. I have got to see what we do here. You can see like the whole plunger, the whole inner workings of the toilet, yet we don't actually have to do anything with it. I was really thinking there for a second, oh, maybe there's a bit more to this toilet than the others. But no, it's still just a regular run-of-the-mill toilet. Now for the sink, though. We have so many new different types of sinks to choose from here. I want something that's a little bit more formal, since it is going to be off the side of the living room. So I really do like this Yule wooden cabinet with sink. So I'm just going to type Yule up here, and it does look like we have a tall cabinet that sort of matches the same styling and just a regular size cabinet. So let's see what we can do here. So we're gonna put this sink here, and I think we have just enough space on either side for hopefully the tall cabinet. Looks like we've got the sink like fully seated up against the wall. It can probably intersect the wood trim that we've placed down, but these cabinets on the side, those do not. So we actually have to pull those away from the wall and delete whatever sort of trim we have back there. There we go. Now it's looking a bit better. I don't love how we are, not able to bring the trim all the way behind the cabinets, but no one else is gonna know that exists except for us. Just you and me, so we'll keep that between us. Next, we need a big ol' mirror, a big ol' fancy pants mirror. However, since we added the cabinets on either side of the sink, we're probably gonna be a bit more limited here on the width of mirror we can use. The Mirror Lamont, dude, coming in clutch. That fits perfectly between those two cabinets. Now all we need is a sconce at the very top, and I think that is a wrap on the bathroom already. I wasn't able to find a sort of one-piece sconce with two bulbs in it that was going to fit in between the cabinets, so instead we have two individual sconce lights or wall lights, and I think they look super good in here. We also just have a single halogen bulb just above the toilet. So next, what we're gonna have to add is, of course, like a toilet paper holder, maybe some other miscellaneous decor in here. Additionally, I would like to paint the walls, and believe it or not, I kind of like this sort of pastel rose color that they had in here previously, so I think I'm gonna try to find something similar to that. To help us sort of make our decision here, I've grabbed 3 different colors, both sort of in the same, color family as what's previously on the wall. So we're gonna get the 3 colors up on the wall and see which one we like best. This one probably matches the closest. This one's probably too red. I actually kind of prefer the middle one. Yeah, you know what? I dig it. We're going with the middle one. I don't even know what the name of that color is. I think it's alizarin red. Probably not pronouncing that right, but that's okay. Yeah, I definitely feel like this is gonna be one of those days where I spend, upwards of 30 minutes on each room, even if it is a room as small as this bathroom, a 6 square meter room. I do actually think this looks pretty dang good. I've added quite a bit more decor in the bathroom than I usually do, and I feel like it just makes the space look quite a bit more lived in. So having said that, we're now of course going to move to the next space, which honestly I feel like we should probably just tackle the living room, since we're just kind of working off of this space anyways. To start in here, I think we're gonna go with a big old flat screen TV up on this wall. Actually, you know what? I remember there being a fireplace in here before. I want to see if we have any new options of fireplaces, anything that looks a little bit more modern, and maybe we'll still be able to fit a big flat screen TV above it. Oh, actually, there's one there. Lapland fireplace. A modern fireplace probably isn't what most people would go for in the historic home, but I do think it kind of plays into the craftsman style arch that we have over here. So for that reason, I think we're gonna stick with this one. But now we gotta find a big old screen TV, dude. Big old flat screen up in here. A 85 inch or an 85 inch. Why do we have Two of those. Oh, one's got feet, one doesn't. Okay, this is probably too big for this wall though. Ah, you know what? No such thing. No such thing as too big. That, you know what, that's perfect. That is just what we're looking for. We also now have security cameras, which is something else I didn't even know we needed. What's with the little Wi-Fi dongle up in the top right of these things? Please, if you know what that is or why it's there, please let me know. That's like the biggest mystery of today's episode. Let's find ourselves a couch. I like the idea of doing like a 3-seater sofa in here, maybe squeezing a coffee table in. It might be a bit tight, but then I would also love like 2 maybe darker gray armchairs, one on either side of the couch. We could even throw in a standing lamp in there if we wanted to. And then this space is pretty well unusable for an actual living room. Same can be said about this area over here, so we really need to figure out something that we can do for this space. I have no idea what we could even do, to tell you the truth. It's such an oddly shaped room. Like, I feel like it's so long and skinny. There's just not a lot you can do with it. But let's at least finish the actual living room portion before we start worrying about the others. Again, this is one of those times where I was just so focused on finishing the room that I said absolutely nothing for the past half an hour, at least, if not more. But this room is absolutely fabulous. It's a little unorthodox, but I did a few things that I don't usually do that definitely took way more time. However, I think the end result is totally worth it. We now have a beautiful liquor slash record playing cabinet slash china cabinet. It's just kind of the catch-all cabinet over here, but I just like having a bit more decor throughout the space. In addition to that, we actually hung paintings or photos for once up on the walls, and then in this space, I was between doing like a piano or doing a billiards or pool table or a foosball table, actually, or a ping pong table, but all the other tables were just far too large, so we ended up going foosball. And then just to sort of lighten up the space a little bit, make it feel a little bit more fun, we have a more abstract painting up here on the wall. So the last few things that we have to do in here are, of course, paint the walls, and then we just have to add lights, and that is a wrap for the living room slash foosball room slash bar record playing room slash mudroom thing. I don't really know what we have going on here, honestly. This is just filler. Oh, we have a robo vacuum though. We got ourselves a Roomba, which is pretty sweet. As for the wall color in here, I still don't really know what I'm gonna do, so I'm just gonna kind of scroll through this until I find something that I'm just really feeling. I definitely think I'm gonna go with this light biscuit for the paint, but I had another idea. Rather than just painting the whole room a boring tan color, I actually think I wanna bring in some of that exterior brick, especially now that we have like the whole main floor of this property being brick on the exterior. I just feel like tying that in on the inside could be kind of cool. So what I think I'm gonna do is definitely this tiny little outcrop here, but I might even bring the brick into the living room portion and bring it up all the way to this corner. We'll see what ends up happening. Okay, so this is what it looks like without the brick completely stretched over to this corner of the room, and I gotta say, granted, I haven't seen it with the entire wall completely brick, but I gotta say, I kind of like it the way it is now. I think if we bring the rest of the brick all the way to this corner, it's just gonna look strange. It's not gonna look right. So I think this is where we're gonna leave off the living room. We could probably use a rug or something else just to break up the massive amounts of hardwood floor we have in here, but for right now, I think it'll do. So the last thing I have to do is, of course, the lights, and we will move on to the next space. Now that we have all the lighting complete in the living room, you could say this is the most lit room we have in the house so far, but next, we're gonna tackle the master bedroom. Just off the side of the living room here, it does, of course, have its own attached master bathroom. However, I don't think I'm gonna bore you guys with going over the design decisions for that space, because it's quite literally going to be pretty much the same as this bathroom. We probably won't do the red wall color again, but you know, it's gonna have concrete floors, it's gonna have white trim just like this. It's probably gonna have the same sink and everything going on like that. So I think for the remainder of this episode, we'll kind of just focus on the master bedroom. We'll then turn our attention into the formal dining room space, and then to sort of cap things all off, we'll move into the kitchen. This is an enormous kitchen, and I have no idea how we're gonna configure it yet. So this is probably gonna take the most amount of time. Now, I know there's a handful of you probably thinking, Toogii, what about the upstairs? Aren't you gonna finish the upstairs? I definitely am. But again, I think this is one of those ones where I'd kind of just like to get the house complete, and there's really not a whole lot of differentiation to do in the bedrooms. I think for the most part, they're probably gonna look the same, but you know what? We'll come up here, we'll try to do maybe the laundry room, maybe even the office as well, but your boy's been recording this episode for 2 hours already. This is obviously like the point in all the houses where it just takes the most amount of time to go through and do all the furnishings and stuff and just sort of talk through my design decisions. But we're 2 hours in and we've done 2 rooms. Okay, we have the bathroom done and now we have the living room done. I'd really like to sort of speed things up because your boy's behind, right? You guys know this. We missed another Monday episode, so I'm just gonna shut up and we'll start working on the bedroom here. I think the most obvious choice as far as location goes for the bed is going to be between those 2 windows. I don't know whether or not I want to do some sort of window covering just yet, but I guess we'll figure that out in due time. Let's move on now to the end tables. Also, I've really been enjoying the look of this cool ash wood for furniture pieces and stuff like that. So like we have a similar look going on over here with our fantastic liquor cabinet, and then we also have a similar wood style in the bathroom. So I think I'm gonna try to continue that throughout the house. So next we're gonna grab 2 of these nightstands in that same cool ash wood, and we're just gonna put one in front of that window and the other just in front of this one. And now that we've done that, I do think some curtains or even some blinds are in order. Just hang up this other blind and there we go. Thankfully they do actually fill the entire window. Now I remember a long time ago they used to just sort of stop. They were sort of one size fits none type of window blind. But I went with the open option because you can of course close them. Rather than having the closed blinds there, I'm gonna let the homeowner decide whether or not they want them open or shut. But now that we have those nightstands, they're looking a little naked, a little bare. So I'm gonna add just a nice simple little lamp. Nothing crazy, I think we'll just go with something similar we've done in the other rooms. There we go, looking pretty good, looking pretty good. All right, dudes and dudettes, this is what we're working with in the master bedroom. Over here in the corner, we of course have a beautiful wicker dog bed, perfect for pretty much any size dog, I will admit. Then we also have a wicker laundry basket, a nice rustic shelf. I actually really like how it hangs away from the wall just by chains. I don't know why, it's a cool look. All right, it's a cool look. Then of course, we do have 2 massive wardrobes that are that same sort of cool ash wood that we've been using for everything else. Then we have a little stool over here you can use if you need to sit down when you get ready and stuff. And then over here, we of course have a large mirror. Now for the paint in this space. Over here, originally this smaller room was more of a terracotta, kind of an orange coppery type color, and then we have that same pastel rose that we found in the bathroom, I believe, wasn't it? But I don't think I want to try to match either one of those colors. I think I want to do maybe a blue, something a bit more light, a bit more cheerful, something like Gentle Breeze, dude. That is the perfect color. Well, in theory, it's the perfect color. I like the name of it. Let's see if it's actually the right choice. Maybe? It's a little too purpley blue. It's almost like a lavender, a light blue mix. Yeah, I'm not really feeling it. Not really feeling it. This next one's called Horizon. We'll see. It's a little bit darker, a little bit less purpley. I feel like that's gonna work quite a bit better for this room. So we'll go with this. Definitely think blue was the right call for this room, for sure. I didn't actually paint the smaller portions just underneath the window here because, I gotta move the nightstands away, then I gotta move the lamp on top, and it's this whole ordeal, right? But I do think the blue actually works really, really well with the cool ash woodwork. I also think it works really well with the white trim that we have all throughout the home, so I'm a fan of this room, for sure. Again, I think we're probably just gonna skip the bathroom. It's gonna look the same as all the other ones. So next, we're gonna be moving into the formal dining room. Originally, I wanted this corner to be the sort of liquor cabinet corner, but since we've already sort of created one of those in the living room space, I think here, what I want to do instead is just another sort of built-in type thing. We're still gonna have a cabinet there, it just might not be a liquor cabinet. But let's start by trying to find some sort of table that's gonna work in here. I'm definitely looking to make this a more formal dining room than we've done in the past, so I'm kind of just glossing over anything that looks too modern. And now we're at the bottom of the list, and I couldn't find one that I actually liked. I wanna try the enormous table right here. I know it kind of blends in with the floor a little bit, but we'll never mind that. Now we just have to find some sort of chair that sort of matches the same style we're going for. Honestly, these are pretty good. We're not gonna be able to match the wood that the table's using necessarily, but I do actually really like the light gray sort of upholstered look to this chair. Tell you the truth, definitely not as formal as I was hoping for, but it'll work. I think if we add a nice, elegant looking chandelier just in the center of it, that should hopefully help it. Here we go, dude. I actually kind of like that. It looks like candles, but you know it's not. And it's actually that same cool ash wood that we've been using in other things too. So I like that. Now we just need some sort of cabinet or something for over in this corner. Well, it's not exactly what I had in mind. Again, much like the table, but you know what? I think it's gonna work. It at least matches the same, wood color that we're sort of going with for this space. So it could be a lot worse, right? Could be much, much worse. But now we need some sort of painting to put up here. Something with a lot of color like this might not be too bad. We'll just hang that up in between those two sconces, looking good. The sconces are actually like the same style as the chandelier, so again, just trying to tie everything together. But originally, my first plan for this space was actually to bring that brick from the outside to the inside, but the more I looked at it, I just didn't think it was gonna look very good. So instead, what we're gonna do for this space is just paint it one solid color. And since the painting we chose is sort of neutral colors, it has a little bit of blue, a little bit of orangey red to it, I think I'm gonna try to continue the natural colors on the walls as well. So for this room, we're gonna paint everything natural beige. Honestly, I don't care what color. Like, we could have done any color for this space. I just didn't want to stare at Granny's old wallpaper anymore. This is looking so much nicer. I will say the one downside of using the craftsman style archway is that the game isn't really registering that the two rooms here are actually separate. So the entire space here, from living room into dining room, is just being called a dining room. A 73 square meter dining room. We'll have to see what happens come time to sell the property. I haven't actually picked anyone. I don't usually pick a certain client. Like, I don't have anyone in mind for purchasing this house, so it'll be interesting to see who wants a 73 square meter dining room. But now we're gonna make our way into the kitchen. And I remember in previous homes that we've been working on, I really liked the gray and white sort of cabinetry setups that people had been doing. So I want to try to replicate that, but put our own spin on it. Try to still make it original in some way, shape, or form. So the first step in this is just trying to find cabinets that we like, both all white and then all gray as well. I think I've found a cabinet and cupboard style that I at least like. I think it's gonna work both in a white variant as well as a gray variant, and I already know that this kitchen's gonna have plenty of space for an island, so I'm gonna plop one of those down straight away. And now we just have to try to configure some sort of L shape that also has an island built into it. It should be fairly straightforward, but you never know.
One eternity later.
Well, obviously, there are a great number of different configurations in just cabinets alone. So for that reason, I had to start putting stuff outside because, again, I can't make my mind up. I literally have to place every possible option down just to help make my decision. We've even got cabinets in the pantry. So I think what I've decided to do is have gray cupboards and white cabinets. Having said that, though, there are, of course, just as many different configurations as cabinets as there are cupboards, and sometimes they have stuff like this that's pre-made and like ready to be dropped above something like this, and it's too many choices. It's too many choices for me. Okay, so I definitely need to put some lights up in the kitchen because it's a bit dark, but we're going to use our flashlight for the time being. We, of course, have a huge row of cabinets up here. Those are all going to be white, and then the cupboards down here at the bottom, big L-shaped configuration, those are all light gray. Or maybe it's dark gray. Or maybe it's just gray. I actually don't remember, but we got everything you need in a kitchen. A dishwasher, an oven, a sink. I would have actually liked to have the sink maybe in the island, potentially a farm sink. I feel like that would have looked nice, but we don't have that as an option. Then we have our refrigerator over here, and this whole set is brand new. I hadn't seen this set before until today. It's called the Snowman set, and there are a lot of these things. I mean, a lot of these things. You got dark variants, you got wooden variants, you have light colored variants, and then you get down to the bottom of the list and you have a literal snowman that we're of course going to put out front of the property. Just because, you know what? Why not? We'll put him down right there. I feel like that's a good spot for old Frosty. So now we have all of our cabinets installed. The next thing is gonna be lights. It's gotta be lights. We're gonna start by doing just 4. I know there's obviously more than 4 right now, but we're gonna start by just doing 4 halogen bulbs, 1 in each corner of the room here. Now that we have that done, we of course need a light switch. So we're gonna grab the modern light switch from the store. I'll put our first light switch just over here. Go ahead and turn that on. We'll do our second one right there. And that should probably be enough, I would think, for this space. But we're letting a little bit of light in. It's looking a lot better, but I think we need something else, something special, something unique just above the island. Maybe not a chandelier, but definitely something hanging from the ceiling. Oh, here we go, dude. Yeah, and then we can sort of tie in to the lighting in all the other rooms. We've been using similar lamps, whether it's a sconce or a floor lamp even. So we'll just sort of continue that trend. I like the idea of that. Yeah, you know what? I think that's gonna be perfect, dude. It's just a little bit more flair for the space. Had we not put a light fixture above the island, I feel like the island would just look out of place. It would just look weird. We now need a few bar stools, and then we don't really need any additional seating in here, but this corner is just a little too bare. So I think I'm gonna find a small table and maybe even just 2 chairs to put around it. God, you would not believe how difficult it is to find a table small enough to fit in this corner. This is the only one that I can find that'll actually fit decently well, and it is unfortunately like completely chrome, just all chrome everything. I could make it black, but I feel like that probably wouldn't look very good either. The next thing we need is some seating for in here. Just to continue the shiny metal theme, I figure we're gonna use some metal chairs. Wow. That looks horrible. Actually, you know what? This could work as like a kid's table, right? You have the island that's maybe for the teenagers, the grown-ups, and then of course you have the little kids table. You know what? It works. It works. I'm okay with it now. Next, some bar stools. I found these smaller wooden white bar stools, so I'm gonna try these. Everything else I found didn't really have enough backrest. I feel like that has just enough backrest to it. You know, it's sort of peeking up over top of the island countertop there. I like it. This is looking nice, looking real nice. All right, we are back after a very brief little intermission there. Had to get some grub on. You know the deal. You know, we're working on the kitchen. I was getting real hungry. It was about time. Also, this is like the longest recording session I think we've ever had in House Flipper. And the house isn't even that big. I feel like we haven't even done that many rooms, yet somehow this has taken the longest out of all of the houses we have done thus far. But nonetheless, we are going to be continuing on with the kitchen. What we're going to do next is pick the wall color for this space. This room originally had the same sort of pastel rosy colored walls. I think what we're going to do instead is a very light blue. I think it'll play into the dark gray and the white cabinets pretty well. Hopefully. We'll see, I guess, once we get all the walls painted. This might actually be the first kitchen that we haven't done any type of backsplash behind the countertops, behind the cupboards here. And I'm not mad about it. I'm also not sad about it. I actually think it looks pretty nice just the way it is. So now that we have all the walls painted, this nice light blue, I don't think it's too overbearing. I'm actually pretty pleased with the way it turned out. I think what I want to do is go through and paint the pantry. Also, yeah, dude, check out the pantry. This bad boy is stocked. Well, kind of. Some of the other things are a little bare. But, I mean, we got all the main food groups. Velveeta, shells with cheese. We got Nature Valley, crunchy granola bars, and, of course, a lifetime supply of ramen. I mean, you can't beat it. Well, you could, but that would be weird. There we go, got the pantry looking good, and then rather than spending the time now to go through and decorate the kitchen, add in all the odds and ends, you know, random little bits here and there, I think what we're gonna do instead is actually shuffle our way on up these stairs, and we're gonna move into the office, because this is the only other room that's unlike all of the others. Well, this one and the laundry room, but I think I've decided to just gloss over the laundry room again because it's really just a bathroom with a washer and a dryer. So let's try to figure out something that we can do for in here. I like the idea of having a sort of recording space maybe over in this corner, and then in this corner maybe like a console recording space. Have a couch, nice big flat screen TV, of course all the different types of consoles that we have. So let's start by trying to find a desk over here for the recording area. I really can't even tell you how many times I've chosen this desk before, but I can guarantee it's just about every time we've done an office. I guess it's probably because it's the one that's closest to my actual desk. I have a nice little L-shaped desk similar to this. We now also have a green screen, which is very, very cool. I also found a new microphone, like a desk-mounted proper boom arm microphone from the Steam Workshop. I still haven't been able to find like a tripod with a camera on it, or even just a camera in general, or like box lights. Like I have no lighting for this office. We might have to get a little creative. We're gonna grab the 98-inch flat screen TV for this wall. This is actually a workshop item, so I don't believe we can actually turn it on or have the screen actually display anything, but just the fact that we have a 98-inch plasma screen or flat screen TV over here is pretty sweet. As for the entertainment center, we have 3 new cabinets to choose from. I think I'm just gonna go with the black one since we have a black desk and all, and now we'll at least have some space to, you know, put all of our consoles and everything. This is already way cooler than the space that I record in every day, but we got an Xbox Series X, an old rustic crate just to, you know, add a little bit of character to the room, a samurai sword, because why wouldn't you want one of those, right? We got a Animal Crossing Switch, TV remote, and of course some candles. But that's gonna do it, I think, for our entertainment center over there. Now what we need is a couch. And for this, I'm just gonna keep it real sleek, real modern. We're just gonna do an all black couch, and that's gonna go just there, I think. Maybe a little bit further back. I wanna make sure we still have enough space to get back behind the couch and actually, you know, utilize the sliding glass doors that we have. I don't really see the need for a coffee table over here. I actually can't believe I forgot this, but I forgot the Xbox controllers. The Toogii spec controllers. Granted, they're not like completely accurate, and sometimes the green screen thinks that yellow is green. It's not. Close, but I gotta get at least a few Toogii spec controllers in here. Let's do 4. There we go. Gotta grab ourselves a RGB mouse pad, of course. RGB everything, pretty much. We have our main monitor here, and then we also have like our stream chat monitor that we can rotate. It's just easier to read chat if it's vertical. Next, we're gonna need stuff like a mouse, maybe some headphones wouldn't hurt. I love how we always just build houses that we would want to live in, right? We never actually build houses for a specific client, although I have tried to do that in the past, and it never really ends up working out the way you want it to. And finally, the last piece of the puzzle here is gonna be an office chair. I really do just like the gaming chair, Fez. I feel like you can't really go wrong with this one, especially if it's just all black. I mean, it looks like every other gaming chair. But there you go. We got our own little recording area over here in this corner. Just imagine that we have these big fancy box lights and big tripod with a nice camera on it for our face cam. But I'm pretty happy with this area. Next, the wall coverings. I actually have no idea what we should do in here. Honestly, white might be a good color. And then we don't have to paint as much because these walls are already white. All we have to do is cover up old grandmama's wallpaper over there. As for the lighting in here, I think we're just gonna keep this super simple, and we'll just put up 4 halogen bulbs, 1 in each corner as we do. I definitely think that this is gonna be the last room that we sort of work through together because it takes a tremendous amount of time for me to try to take my thoughts from being thoughts and spit words out and make sentences. I don't know why, man. It's been difficult today, okay? But I'm really happy with the way the office turned out. I think it looks nice. And I did remember that we actually do have a sort of box light. It's not the one that you would want for like a photo light, but you know, it gets the point across anyways that this is sort of a recording space, as if the green screen, you know, wasn't a telltale sign by itself. I'm now going to go around the entire rest of the property and finish out all of the other rooms. The bedrooms are probably all going to look pretty much the same. All the bathrooms are probably going to look pretty much the same. So as far as the upstairs goes, I don't think you guys will really notice or miss all that much. But having said all that, see you guys here in a few minutes.
3 hours later.
I just cannot believe that we have spent nearly 7 hours just furnishing a house. That has literally never happened. For as long as we've been playing House Flipper, it usually takes 2, maybe 3 hours to furnish an entire house. I don't know what I was doing today, if I was just really lagging behind or what was going on, but we finally are finished. Having said that, though, I think many of you are going to be severely disappointed for what I ended up doing upstairs. So, big spoiler, all right? Just be ready for that. Just before we go inside, I noticed a little thing I forgot to patch up. There we go. Good as new. So here in the front entryway, we really don't have a whole lot going on. We got a beautiful, beautiful plant growing in the back corner. We have 2 little shoe cubbies. This one probably has enough space for, you know, a few coats and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy in the front entryway. We then make our way into our beautiful corridor. This is probably the only hallway, the only purpose-built hallway we've ever done in House Flipper. So, I mean, that's got to say something, right? No, actually, this was the only way that we were going to get the whole layout to work. But look at this kitchen, dude. I know a lot of you are probably thinking it looks about the same as it did before, but there's way more decorations in here now. We got a coffee maker, we got all of our herbs and spices, we got vinegar, we got olive oil, little soap dispenser over here, some paper towels that don't look very papery, it looks more like plastic, knife set, of course, a little KitchenAid mixer, a microwave, and then a charcuterie board, I guess, or maybe it's a cutting board. I always have such a hard time picking wall decor, and in the kitchen was no exception. You can see we have a lucky cat hung up on the wall, and then it says, but first, coffee, just above that, which makes absolutely no sense, but at least we have a coffee maker, you know? In the pantry, the only thing that's changed is we now have a light in there. It's the same, you know, style light we've been kind of using throughout the whole property. Let's go ahead and make our way outside real quick. I was originally going to sort of tear out the existing patio and just replace it with something that looks a little bit more like concrete, but I had a change of heart, mainly because I didn't want to spend any more time on this property, so we're leaving it. It doesn't look bad by any means, I just know that concrete probably would have looked better. But let's continue into the next room in the house. That is going to be the living room. I actually don't think I've done anything else in here since you guys would have last seen it. Maybe, you know what? I do recall adding this other switch, but I think that is actually it. What about the bathroom? Is there anything new in here? Nothing that I remember. Pretty much same old in there, I think, as well. Dining room, of course, now has dining room type decor. So we have salad bowls and plates, and, you know, we got our fancy china out for the occasion. And then just off the living room, this is the master bedroom. Nothing has changed in here since you guys saw it last, but it does now have a completely finished bathroom. As I mentioned before, pretty much every bathroom is going to be kind of the same as that first one that we worked on together, and I think that's pretty obvious once you see like the sink that we ended up going with. We even used the same exact toilet. We have tissues in each bathroom. We have toilet paper holders in each bathroom, and it looks fine. Like, I'm definitely not blown away by these bathrooms by any means, but I'm happy with it at the same time. Now, remember what I said about the upstairs, okay? I don't want anyone to be upsetty spaghetti when they notice just how plain Jane and boring the upstairs area is, all right? I know this is very unlike us. You know, we usually go all out, I mean, over the top, but I didn't do that. for this one. So instead, we have very, very minimal decor up here in the sort of corridor, the main hallway for the upstairs. We do, however, have a very, very nice looking chandelier. We have some elegant looking mirrors and a nice painting over here with some sconces. I don't remember if there's anything new in the office. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure this is exactly as it was before. However, we do now have 2 new lounge chairs out here, complete with little end tables, so you can set your drink down or set your sunglasses down, whatever you got on you. But if you haven't noticed by now, just about everything up here is just white. We went all white on the walls. We have all white trim in here. It's very, very dull looking, but I almost kind of prefer that. I'm honest to God just making this up, just trying to make myself feel better about having such a boring upstairs. But you know what? I kind of prefer that because now the homeowner, whoever buys this home, has complete and total freedom to paint the walls whatever color they want. They even have the option to just go through and sell all the furniture we put in here for them. But if this bedroom set looks familiar, that's because it is exactly like to a T, the exact same thing we used in the master bedroom down on the main floor. Then of course we have the attached bathroom up here. This is, same but different. A little bit smaller. You have the variations of the windows and whatnot. I was also unable to add any sort of closed or open blinds to the windows in the bathrooms, which is what I wanted to do originally. I don't know why these windows just don't work with them. So let's continue down the hall to the laundry room. Why it says welcome, your guess is just as good as mine. I have no idea, but this room actually doesn't count as a laundry room. It's literally just an 8 square meter room. And to try to church it up as best I could, I added the most colorful painting they have in the game, and it really didn't do a whole lot for this space. So we're just gonna pretend that room doesn't even exist and head on into the final bedroom here. As you can probably tell, it's the same as the other ones. And then the last bathroom here, of course, same, but different. This one actually has my favorite toilet because the door kind of acts as a little wall here. So you can have, even more privacy, even though the door would be open at that point. Anyways, I am super excited to see which family, which couple is gonna end up purchasing this home from us. I wanna say it works as you can see our list of clients on the left. I think whoever is at the top is probably gonna buy it, but we don't know until we actually list the thing for sale. So the first thing we have to do is actually submit it for the garden competition. We're gonna choose modern because we really have nothing going on out here. A lot of plants. Oh, equipment left. What are you on about? Penalties, equipment left. Where? Are you talking about the snowman? Why would that count as equipment though? I can promise you guys I didn't leave scaffolding out. I don't think I left any sort of brick paneling out or paint buckets, anything of the sort. And after our brief little walk around here, I didn't find anything out of the ordinary. So I'm not really sure what that whole thing was about, but I think we boosted the overall property value by at least 3%, so that's something at least. But let's go ahead and list the house and we'll see who's gonna pick it up. So we bought the house for 93,000 buckaroonies, and we have spent a total, not just today's recording session, but a total of 10 hours and 32 minutes on this property. 7 hours of which were just today. Yikes. Big yikes. I can't believe that we scored this property for under 100,000 smackaroonies, dude. Family Johnson is the winner here. Almost 420. Should we bump it up? They're trying to purchase it for $416,000. Let's go ahead and shift enter so we can negotiate with them. I'm gonna try to get them to come up roughly 4,000 bucks, $3,800 on this. We'll see what they end up saying. Your offer is too low, $3,800 more. Good, we accept your proposal. Dude, do you know what that means? We have now sold a property for 420,000 buckaroonies. That is just incredible, dude. Incredible. I cannot begin to tell you guys how excited I am that we no longer have to work on this property. I cannot believe it took us so long to do this. I honestly had set aside roughly 10 hours for recordings today, and I was pretty dead set on, getting 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4 recordings done. And we're finishing out the day with one video is all I got accomplished today. But it could be worse. You know, I could have had another complete flop of a day and not been able to get anything done. So there's some positives, definitely some positives. The before and after pictures of this house are going to be a little weird because we completely gutted this thing. Oh, the outside glow up is big, dude. Dang. You know what? I wasn't really a fan of the brick. But now seeing the before and after pictures, I'm sold. I'm sold. And just like that, now that we're back at home, back on the poop deck, I think that's probably where we're gonna wind things down at for today. Finally, once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.